Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Priceless Opinion, a space rooted in perspective, reflection, fragrance, lifestyle, and meaningful conversations. If you enjoy thoughtful conversations around growth, confidence, identity, and becoming comfortable in your own voice, make sure you subscribe, like, give a thumbs up, and share. Now let's get into it. One thing I've realized about growth is that sometimes the hardest part isn't surviving difficult moments. It's finally deciding to stop carrying them. I'm going to read an excerpt from my blog. As I sit here and think, what took me so long to decide to shake this pebble out of my shoe? I realize the writing on the wall is very clear as to what is needed to keep pressing forward and overcome the past. Oftentimes, we harp and dwell on the pain and anguish so much that it consumes us, and even the clearest things begin to seem cloudy and murky. Honestly, I think a lot of us are carrying emotional pebbles we've gotten so used to holding that we don't even realize how heavy they've become. And what I mean by that is that we just continue to put on layers of hurt and trauma and negativity and bad things. And so it becomes okay, I'm putting a hat on and then I'm putting a hood on. So the hat is the trauma, the hood is the hurt. And then I'm going to put something else on. I'm going to bundle up all of that we're putting on. We're just layering on top and we're never really releasing. We're never really finding peace. We're never really healing. We just kind of suppress it down and just keep putting on layers on top of layers on top of layers instead of finding a way to heal, let go, and take that emotional weight off. One of the things that I've realized is that emotional weight changes how you move through life. Carrying that pain digs deep into some people. How it can show up is unresolved hurt, resentment, disappointment. It could be a passive aggressiveness, suppressed emotions. So, for instance, if in relationships, if you've been cheated on and you've been piling up those layers of hurt, you then never trust. You never give your partner the benefit of the doubt. You never feel that, you are worthy of someone that is not going to hurt you. It could be abandonment issues that you may have been abandoned as a child by your parent, then abandoned by a boyfriend or someone else, and so you continue to put emotional weight on. And so how you move through life is that you feel that someone else is going to abandon you, so you just suppress that. You're always disappointed, or you don't allow yourself to get disappointed, and so you're just angry. Or you pretend that you're okay, like, oh, it's no problem, it's okay. Sometimes pain doesn't show up as sadness. Sometimes it shows up as exhaustion, isolation, anger, overworking. Like some people work nonstop, 40 hours of overtime, just so that they don't have to deal with the emotional weight that is on their shoulder. People pleasing. You suppress your own wants and desires just to please someone else so that you don't have to relive something, or something doesn't have to come up that you went through before. Or constantly feeling emotionally guarded. So I'm never going to really let someone in because I've been hurt before. Or I'm emotionally guarded because I know that the last time I let my guard down, my father disappointed me, or when I was too trusting, I was abused. So you're putting all of that emotional weight on, and how you're moving through life, it shows up in different ways negatively and not positively, right? So one of the things that I would encourage people to do, myself included, is forgive the person, forgive the action, forgive the trauma, forgive whatever it is. Because forgiveness isn't always about the other person. Forgiveness is about you, forgiving yourself. Because a lot of times we take on that and say, well, what did I do wrong to make this happen? What did I wear to make me get attacked? What did I say that made him do this? Or what didn't I do to make them leave? So you are wanting to forgive yourself and release that guilt. Letting go of all of that brings in peace. And I will say that you do not need to have someone understand your pain. You do not need closure from that person or that thing. You need to acknowledge, hey, it happened. I'll acknowledge, hey, this happened. I forgive this person. I don't need a response, because sometimes the response that you get may piss you off more. So I don't even need a response. I'm doing this for me. I am forgiving you. I am releasing this guilt, this emotion, this pain, and I'm letting go for my peace of mind, so that I don't move through life with a chip on my shoulder, with 5 different layers of emotional pain, weighing me down to where I am just miserable, or I'm okay one second and not okay the next. And that is powerful. Healing without an apology, healing without validation, and healing no matter what helps you move on, helps you get past whatever it is. If you say it out loud and mean it, whether you need to say it once or twice, don't say it every day. Don't say it but say it, mean it, and then move on. And don't relive it, right? Because your past can then start to define you. And that's not what you are meant to do, right? You are not meant to be defined by your past. That's like in sports. If someone was defined by how many times they didn't make it to the playoffs, go Knicks, shameless plug, because I'm a Knicks fan. But if the Knicks was defined by how many times they didn't make it to the playoffs, they wouldn't be going to the finals, right? Because they would be defined by their failures. So they had to heal without an apology from anybody that was on their team that didn't put forth the effort, without the validation from the fans, the naysayers, the coaches, whatever. And they had to heal and move forward. And that is, I'm using that analogy for sports, but it's the same way with us, right? How trauma shaped our perspective, we need to heal from. It doesn't become our identity. We are going to choose growth. And I am choosing to be intentional about it. That is how I got past a lot of the things that happened. One of the things that I thought about when I was sitting, contemplating a whole lot of things, is that most of the negative things, while traumatic, happened to me while I was a child. So let's just say the first 18 years of my life, I had negative things happen. Then I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in my 20s. I was 26 when I was diagnosed. I've climbed the corporate ladder. I've had a son that is about to graduate college, is a good kid. I've had relationships. I own my own home, my own car. So good things have happened. But if I keep focusing on what happened in my early ages, then it'll overshadow all of the good things that have always constantly happened. I feel that God has put me through things so that I could be a walking testament of how you can continue to prosper no matter what. But it's not going to define me. And so when I thought about it like that, I'm like, I'm now 46 years old. So bad things happened, yes. Traumatic things happen, yes. But look at all of the good things that have happened. I went to Hampton University. Hey, not too many people from New York have ever been outside of their 5 boroughs. I went to a whole nother state to go to school. So if I start looking at it like that, like, yes, things have happened, but I've grown and I've been intentional with my growth because I made sure that I kept moving forward, then I can acknowledge that and I can say I've had a past, but I'm living in the present. I have a purpose, and that's the future. And so that is one thing that I will say, that if I can leave everybody with one nugget, is that we all have a past, but we need to live in the present. We don't need to live to survive. We need to live, and we need to live in our purpose. One of my friends recently told me, and it brought me to tears, that they prayed for me. And I'm like, what do you mean you prayed for me? I prayed because I know that you have a purpose. I know that you have a story. I know that you're strong, and you need to walk into that purpose. And I was like, wow, if other people are believing in me, I need to believe in myself too, right? So that's what this conversation is about, is making sure that we're grounded in positivity, we're grounded in intentionality, that we're doing what we have to do to forgive whatever it looks like for you, because I know it's going to be different for everybody. But try to look at it as, hey, this happened to me, but look at all of the good things that has happened to me. Look at all of the blessings that I've had. Look at all of the things that I still have to accomplish, and I'm going to accomplish those things, right? So let's work on that. One thing that I did want to mention is that I was going to a doctor's appointment, and the receptionist, before I even sat down to like give my name and stuff like that, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you smell amazing. What do you have on?" And I was just like, "I smell amazing." Like, this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I smell, what did I put on? And so I realized I had on Wulong Chai. No, this is Ani X. I had on Ani X from Nishane, and she brightened up my day. I don't like going to the doctors because they're always telling you something. But her smelling this and telling me that, it brightened up my day. So perspective, right? We talk about perspective and being intentional. My perspective was, I don't like going to the doctor because what else are they going to tell me today? She changed my perspective without even knowing, and it brightened my day. So let's think of doing those things, looking at the bright side of the day, if you will. And what I want to say is that who you are, who you are supposed to be, is your purpose. What you went through, experiences that you've had, is your past. Let's not live in the past. Let's live in the now, and let's live in your purpose. One thing that I also did is, while I was figuring this out, is I shouted in the mirror, "Who are you? Who are you?" And maybe that's how you have to start, to taking the layers off. Who are you? You're amazing. No, you're not a failure. Who are you? Define you. And then start taking the layers off. Again, I just wanted to have a conversation of what helped me, how I was able to get through things, how I had to look at things. And even now, sometimes I need to be reminded, you're not your past. This person did that to you. This person is not that person. This person is not going to attack you. So it is a constant reminder, but it's a constant reminder of not the woe is me, but of the good things. You are no longer surviving, you're living. Hopefully that helped. One thing I'm learning is that healing doesn't always begin with answers. Sometimes it begins with finally putting down the emotional weight you were never meant to carry forever. We all have a past, like I said before, but perspective changes everything.
If you can list the fucked up things that have happened in your life and you can put that on a list and you somehow made it past all of this to be in a position where you can still go make some stuff happen, that's what you have in common with every hero of every story, of every autobiography, of every... Wow. Is how much happened to you that should have broke you, that did not break you, so that you were able to then fucking ride.
Stay priceless.